Yeah, my name's Hartley Atkinson. I'm the co-founder of AFT Pharmaceuticals.
My name's Louise Clayton. I'm the Director of International Business at AFT.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Tubby. I'm the CFO of AFT Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, AFT started actually from back in a garage in 97, and then we expanded to Australia in 2004, and we floated the business on the stock exchange in New Zealand and Australia in December 2015, and we've been busy growing the business and expanding around the globe ever since then.
And we've expanded quite a bit, haven't we, with recently quite a big shift to opening up some global hubs for us, especially brought on through COVID, when we started sending some teams out into the markets so that we could look after our partners globally. Especially, I think we sent a couple to the UK, didn't we, to look after that business, and that was so close to Europe as well, which was great.
Yeah, look, there really is a lot of growth. I mean, if you look over the last 10 years, our business has almost quadrupled. And sometimes we sort of see people think that maybe for some reason it's actually going to stop or slow down. We really don't want to slow things down. I mean, we've got a lot of things happening. So basically, in the Australian, New Zealand market, we're expanding that pretty aggressively with in-licensing and product launches, and we're getting good growth in those markets. Have a very strong team in Australia. We're very much focused on the Australian market, actually. But then also we're starting now to branch out, working, with Lou's team, branching out around the world. We're setting up these business hubs where there's a lot of potential. We're in about 70 or a bit over 70 countries now, but also some of them, Lou, we're really building them, aren't we, as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got hubs in the UK now where we've got 4 staff members, and we're starting to gain some registrations, and we've also had a successful launch into Boots with the UK alternative to Maxigesic called Combogesic. That was launched in January, and we've launched on Amazon there too in the UK. So that's successful, and we're looking forward to growing that and expanding that with our other variances of our products, our line extensions as well. We've opened up an entity in the Europe as well, based in Ireland. And that's to service our local manufacturers in Europe, and then moving product internally within Europe to our partners there.
So we've got a couple of people in that office?
Yes.
I think we're about 115 all up now.
Yeah, so we don't actually, we can manage to run things without an army of staff, which is positive. But yeah, I mean, our staff is growing. About half our people are actually salespeople in the Australian market, and the rest of them are really focused on registrations. Drug development is a really important part of our business. I mean, often people might know us for Maxigesic, but actually we do have quite a deep R&D portfolio. We got sort of 7 or 8 R&D projects, and any one of them can certainly be really significant, provided we get them through to marketplace. We're currently launching actually about an additional 4 products right now, the next kind of couple of years. And then after that, our drug development portfolio will really feed in, which will really help then to drive and grow our international business.
Yeah, and feed in through those hubs, and also through our licensing partners. So we obviously have a huge network of partners that we deal with globally, and a lot of these products we're already talking to them about. So that gives us that opportunity to leverage that into those markets, which is great. We also have other entities that we've just opened in Canada and the US as well. And we've got a really nice focus as well in Asia, with Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore becoming hubs for us as well, to really grow our business and expand on our success in Australia, really, throughout Asia.
And we've also had huge progress in some individual markets, like South Korea has gone really, really well for Maxigesic IV. We're getting very good growth out of that market. And South Korea is well known as being an early adopter market. So people take on new products very early in that market, which we're sort of hopeful then would be a good portend for other markets. Like we recently launched in the US market, Maxigesic IV through Hikma, which is the 3rd largest supplier of injectables into the US market. And I personally went there in New Jersey in their sort of their cold period. It was certainly not pleasant weather, and then did the training for all their field force, which then went out and started to sell right around the US. So certainly, as we all know, the US is the largest healthcare market in the world. So that was a pretty pivotal moment for us. And then I think the other really pivotal moment is we're preparing at the moment to launch our Cristoderm antiseptic cream into the China market. And China's the second biggest pharma market in the world. So really, we are starting to make some sort of decent progress, and that's certainly what we're aiming for.
Yes, and it's a complex market, China. So we've got somebody based up in Hong Kong that is really proficient at that. The whole of Asia, but mainly China, very focused on China as well, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting some good progress also in our cross-border e-commerce trade. It's never an overnight thing where you snap your fingers and sales take off straight away. But look, we're doing 7 figures of sales now, and it'll take time and it'll grow further from there. So once again, it is investment and sort of time in the market. But I mean, we are profitable. That's the point. I mean, Malcolm, we don't need anything like cash raises or anything like that, do we? Because we're funding everything out of profits, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. So we spend probably around about 12 mil a year at the minute on R&D, and that comes out of our operating cash flows.
Yeah, and we obviously have promotional spend as well, so we do have to invest in our new product launches in Australia, and also, as Lou mentioned, in the UK, we've launched Combogesic into boots, and we've had a lot of Snapchats and Instagrams from people we know saying, hey, we saw your product on a bus stop in Chelsea, sort of thing, so certainly we know the ads are getting cut through because a lot of our friends in the UK are seeing it and commenting to us, which is really cool, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, we sort of tie in our successes that we have in the Australasian market, in New Zealand and in Australia, and then we adapt them to our markets globally where we're involved in the launch. And it's worked really well. We did in market studies, but and then adapted it, and it's been really well received. But there has been the odd comment where people think we're being copied, which we're not.
You see our ads.
It's a different name.
Different name.
We do have it. It is called Combogesic in the United States market and some of the European markets. So we have a mixture of Combogesic or Maxigesic, depending kind of on what market it is. But there certainly is good potential for Maxigesic going forward. We have a total of about 9 dose forms. So it isn't just the tablet. We have a special fast release version which has a patent until 2039, which we're working on and launching in the US market this year to add to our IV launch that we've already done. So, there's a lot of... Sometimes people struggle maybe a bit with all the moving parts, but we always see that as much safer than being reliant on just one product or just one geography. It's actually a plus, not a negative. It's quite important.
Yeah, there's certainly there's areas that are stronger in different dose forms than others because of that. You imagine some countries are great at hot drink, and then others are very strong on tablets. It just depends on the dose form that the customers or patients are used to taking as well. But
we're getting very good feedback about our Maxigesic IV, which has a number of patents going out to 2035 or 2038, and we also see a lot of potential for that based on feedback we're getting from different customers, seeing good progress in quite complex markets like Germany, which is always quite a challenging market, but actually we're doing very well in Germany. So it's good to see the rollout. And we have approval in a lot of countries as well around the world. US FDA, we have 2 approvals now with tablets and the IV. Europe, we have approvals across every European nation. So we've also picked up a lot of experience over the last sort of 5 to 10 years on drug development, but also regulatory, and we know we can do it. That's the important thing. We have a lot of contacts around the world, but also including locally. So we work with people. There's actually a lot of difficulty in the moment with companies overseas getting funding for their projects. So we're in a really good position, being profitable. We can pick up R&D projects that were never available years ago. So we're investing in these projects. I mean, one example, for instance, is strawberry birthmarks. A lot of babies, newborn babies, have strawberry birthmarks, and it's an opportunity opportunity to develop a topical treatment that will be relatively safe, but it's not the sort of thing Big Pharma would do. But that doesn't mean to say there wouldn't be a really good business opportunity, but also too a really good target audience of young kiddies that need a treatment, parents that are keen to see a relatively safe treatment that can be used. Yeah, look, so we've got a range of products. Even with our Maxigesic, we have 9 dose forms in total, so some of those still have to be rolled out. We have a further 4 products in our R&D pipeline, which we're currently rolling out. So those have already been developed and funded from existing cash flows. And on top of that, we have a further kind of 8 or so projects that are in development. And these will sort of roll out over potentially the next kind of 6 or so years. But it's nice having that mixture. We have the ones that are relatively close that can generate some money and some cash, and we can continue to invest in the other longer term projects. Well, look, I think one of the key things really is something like the US market, like really getting Maxigesic IV going and growing it to what it can be. These things don't happen overnight, and literally we see it kind of grows year on year, and it will keep on growing, we believe, year on year for 10 years or so, and it'd be really good to see how it really ends up, and that's what excites me.
Yeah, it's taking that growth and it's compound growth globally. We're already launched in over 30 countries with IV, and some of the countries we've been launched for 2 or 3 years now, and we're really starting to get that exponential growth, which is really satisfying to see.
And I think the fun part of finance is when the money does start coming in from the R&D projects.
Yeah.
So very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, but I mean, we've certainly seen that because we know we've seen some comments about the cash component of R&D. You obviously have to spend money, but I mean, some of the upfronts we got back from Hikma, for instance, in the US, have paid for all our IV kind of R&D pretty much straight away. So we're in the positive territory there, which obviously keeps finance happy.
Hi, I'm Andrew Balgani, Chief Strategy Officer at TradeWindow. I'm here to talk to you about TradeWindow's strategy, our growth plans for the next 12 months, and where we see the business going. So to give you a bit of background on TradeWindow in terms of who we are and what we do, TradeWindow is an enterprise software company. We focus on serving shippers and freight forwarders. Shippers, to explain more simply, are just exporters and importers, and freight forwarders sometimes act on their behalf. What we provide them is software solutions for running their business critical operations. So when it comes to the shippers, we help them complete their trade compliance obligations. So there's a raft of information that they need to share across their supply chain partners. Each year, US $22 trillion of trade relies on what is largely manual, paper-based processes. And this is enabling getting a shipment of goods from A to B. Typically, these trade documents include commercial invoice, shipper's letter of instruction, packing slip, health certificates if it's meat products, phytosanitary certificates if it's plant products, certificates of origin as required for some shipments. So there's a raft of information that needs to be pulled together into these standardized documents. And so we provide a business critical solution in doing that. What's more, this information needs to be shared out with a number of key players in the supply chain. So an exporter needs to share that information out with the port authorities, with the border agencies, so be that customs and biosecurities, with the ocean carriers. If there's trade finance involved, sharing information with the banks, insurance companies, and then obviously their end customer. So it's critical in what we're doing. We're providing a lot of cost savings to our customer. We're also providing a large layer of security in how they interact with parties. Global supply chain software markets have been valued at $32 billion per annum. So it's a massive opportunity, and trade is the lifeblood of the world economy. And so we see that we've got an opportunity to tap into this market that's growing at approximately 14% per annum. In terms of drivers of this market opportunity, there's a massive push towards digitalisation of trade processes. At the moment, it's very backward. It's quite an antiquated system. It's largely run on paper documents or otherwise manual processes that require data entry at each point in the supply chain. So if you think that the data points that I mentioned earlier, they need to be entered at the shipper, at the ocean carrier, which is the shipping line, the border. If there's any banks, it needs to be entered there. So it's very human resource intensive, and what we're doing is streamlining that process and eliminating any chance of there being errors as that data is re-entered across the supply chain. In terms of our immediate opportunity, we're focused on Australasia right now. Australia is a growth market for us. In terms of the number of shippers there, we've calculated that there's approximately 6,000 mid-market shippers, particularly exporters in that market, and a vast number of freight forwarders as well. And we're encouraged by what we're seeing to date. We're picking up many new customers in that market. And we're proud to say that we're one of the key players both here in Australia. And so it's been a driver for us in providing an initial service to customers over there. But it's also been one of the primary reasons for us listing on the NZX. It gives us a lot of credibility, particularly when dealing with government agencies, and it was something that we felt was important in getting that accreditation to issue these certificates in Australia. So TradeWindow has a diversified customer base of over 170 customers. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got customers covering export, import, and freight forwarding. When it comes to the exporters, our customers are some of the major players in the New Zealand sector. So if we think across the major industries covering meat, dairy, seafood, horticulture, timber, FMCG, we've got a number of leading brands there. And so in the freight forwarding side of things, is predominantly our customer base in Australia. So we have over 300 freight forwarding customers. These tend to be mid-market to smaller size freight forwarders and have a great footprint across Australia. Our revenues are well diversified across the customer base. No single customer represents more than 5% of our revenues. So there's very low risk there of any customer churning having a major impact on the overall performance of the business. In terms of products and technology, we have 6 revenue generating products that form together our global trade platform. So they cover export documentation, freight forwarding. We've got Cube, which is the core of it all, which is a data platform. We issue certificates of origin, so that's an automated service. We've got a customs clearance platform as well. So we're covering everything that you need to successfully import and export goods. In terms of employees, we have a team of 48 who work across New Zealand, Australia, and the Philippines. Manila is now our second largest office. Within that office, we have team members covering support, sales, and importantly, technology. The business has been performing well in terms of financial performance. We've put out our results for our third quarter for FY24, so that's as at 31 December. The quarter was our best ever. So revenues have been growing solidly. So our annual recurring revenue grew at 39% year on year, and picking up new customers and also providing additional solutions to existing customers. In terms of revenue retention, it's solid. We've got 94% revenue retention. So when customers come to us, they stay. We provide business critical solutions, hence that's why the revenue is so sticky. So in terms of guidance for the financial year, our financial year ends on the 31st of March. We've narrowed our range to revenues of 6.1 to 6.2, and that represents solid growth on the previous year. We're focused now on taking the business through to profitability. That means that we're looking to achieve profitability by achieving monthly EBITDA break-even during March 2025. So as at the 26th of March, TradeWindow has launched a capital raise offer for 2.2 million. This is to help drive organic revenue growth in Australia and strengthen our balance sheet as we take the business through to profitability. In terms of the makeup of the offer, 2 million of it is a placement, and that's open to new and existing shareholders. And then we have a $200,000 share purchase plan that's open to existing retail investors to participate. We are priced at 17.5 cents per share as part of the new offer. It represents a 10% discount on the VWAP for the 20 trading days up to the announcement of the offer. The offer will be open to the 19th of April, and we welcome your participation. So we're focused on taking the business through to profitability during March of 2025, so we're 12 months away. This is a primary focus for us in having a self-sustaining business model and reinvesting in growing the business to become a global player. Our stated strategy hasn't changed. Rather, we've emphasised our efforts on driving organic revenue growth. So we've pulled back on R&D activities. We've understood the market and the availability of capital there, and the market expects to see returns in the near term and expects to see the business coming through to profitability within the medium term, or at least the next 12 months. And so the key levers of our strategy, just to reiterate them, is driving organic revenue growth through acquiring customers, cross-selling into our existing customer base. And so we've been doing that for several years now, and there's still a long way to run. Obviously, people are the cornerstone of our strategy, and we've got a wealth of talent retained on the team. The other thing is around technology leadership. So we've got great products, and so we're able to leverage the investment that we've already made in R&D over the last few years. And so we've still got an exciting product development roadmap. It will just be a more progressive release of features and functionality. And then finally, in the past, we've said acquisition is a core pillar of our strategy. We're not focusing on that in the next 12 months, and that we're focused on driving the business through organic means. Our key point of difference is that we've invested in technology over the last few years, and so now it's really about commercialising where we've made those investments. So we do have a wealth of new features and functionality coming out over the next 12 months, and we've been working closely with our customers to develop it. We understand our customers' requirements, and so that's probably one of the things about us, is we're very customer focused. The other thing is we're small, we're nimble, and we can move quickly and adapt to market conditions, and we've proven that in the past. And so, if there's any new opportunities or changes in the market conditions, we can adapt and change with it.